Hi everyone! So today is the day that I need to dump my worm bin, process the worm castings, and reset my bin. So I practice a method of composting called vermicomposting or worm composting, where you use a worm, red wiggler worms most commonly, to break down food scraps and other organic materials. So I've had a worm bin going since 2013. So 4 years now, same worm, same bin. I've had the same worms helping me break down some of my food compost. This is a great option for anybody who doesn't have a space outside for a compost bin, because you can keep this bin inside in your garage in the basement, and it works really well. I didn't dump my worm bin last year, so it is super full. It really needs to be dumped. So let me show you how I have it inside my house, and then I'll take you outside and we'll dump it, and I'll show you how to reset it. Okay, so here is where I have my worm bin inside my house. You can see it's just a big Rubbermaid tote with holes in the side. And I've kept my worm bin inside my home the entire time I've had a worm bin. I've never had any issues with like insects getting in my house. So let me go ahead and take you guys outside and I'll show you the next step. Okay, so this is the lid to my worm bin. I just wanted to show you guys. So these itty bitty tiny little white worms are actually another species of worms called potworms. And they also live in my worm bin with my red wigglers. And here's some red wigglers. There they are. Those beautiful wormies. Okay, so here is the inside of my bin. You can see some worms up on the edge. On the top here I have some newspaper, and as I dig down we'll get to where the worms are. Okay, so what I've done is I've taken all the newspaper that was on top and all the big pieces of fruit and vegetable scraps, and I put them into the bottom. I just dumped the worm bin. As you can see, I have lots of big happy worms in here, and because it's daytime, what they're going to do is start going down into the bottom of the compost. So I'll just start making this into a little mound. Okay, you can see that I've divided up all the worm castings into a little mound. I'm going to show you how I separate each little mound of soil. So all I do is I take the mound I'm ready to work with, I kind of pull it closer to me, and then I basically just break it apart with my hands and see all the worms. So I just want to quickly grab the worms as fast as I can, because this is kind of traumatic and stressful for them. So I'm just going to pull all the worms out. And I'll just add each handful into this bucket right here where I have some worm castings, and they can settle back down to the bottom and get out of the sun. Once I have the majority of the worms out of here, what I'm going to do next is, oh, here's another one, is pull any like big pieces of organic matter that didn't get broken down by them, and I'm just going to add it into the bowl with the worms, and that's it. And then I'll show you, we'll zoom in and I'll show you what the cocoons look like and how I sort those out of this as well. Okay, so the worm cocoons, if you can see right here, is kind of like a teardropped, often shiny sort of thing. That's the red wiggler cocoons. You can see there's one right here next to my finger. So I just tried to remove as many of these guys from the finished worm castings as possible, because I want to put these back in my worm bin. So the thing is, they kind of shine in the sunlight, so it makes it slightly easier to see them. So all I really do is just kind of work this back and forth. I find more little worms, add them into the bucket, kind of pull out as many cocoons as I can. And if I were to get, oh, hi baby. If I were to get every single worm egg out of here, it would take me like hours and hours and hours. And I've done that in the past, but all I'm really trying to do is get like some of them out. And that's all there really is to it. So I'll probably go through each little pile a few times, just kind of moving the soil around, looking for more worms and eggs. And once I'm happy with the way it looks, I just add it into this bucket here. I just add it into this bucket here, and that's where I'm putting my finished worm castings. And I'll keep on looking for more eggs. Right here, this, I'm not sure what this guy is. I've seen quite a few of these. I don't think it's a worm. I think it's some other sort of something or another. There's all sorts of little critters in worm bins, guys. It's not just worms. There's mites and what? That's a seed. Big seeds that look kind of like worm cocoons, so they'll confuse you, but they're probably apple seeds. Here's another worm. So this stuff right here is the castings that were down at the very bottom of my bin. It became slightly more anaerobic. You can see it's like way more moist than the lighter and fluffier stuff here. So I kind of just set that aside, and I'm just letting it dry some. You can see how it just like kind of clumps together more like clay would almost. And I've kind of just set that aside. I'm gonna see if the sun will dry it out a little bit before I add it into the finished bin. Alright, so I have a big old pile here. I just want to show you just how many worms I have. So there are lots and lots and lots of red wigglers. So you guys can see how caked my hands are in worm poop. For most people that would gross them out, but I personally like being covered in worm poop. Come on!
Okay.
Grand reveal time.
Alright. Ready?
Yeah.
What'd you guess?
26 and a half?
Oh, 27 and a half.
27 and a half pounds of worm castings. How do you feel about that, Tony? You just want to go back outside? Alright. Okay guys, I'm all done harvesting the worm bin. Now it's time to put it back together. So you can see this is the inner bin that has the holes in the bottom. And then this is the bin that it sits inside to catch any of the leachate that leaks out. So let me hand the phone to Richard. He'll film and I'll show you how I put the bin back together. Filming?
Go.
Okay, so here's where all the worms and worm eggs are. I'm just gonna dump it back into here. Oh my gosh. Guys, look at all these worms. Sorry guys, it's been a rough day for you. Okay, so I'm kind of just gonna spread that back over the bottom. And then I have some materials in here. Dried newspaper. There's more worms right here. Add those guys back in. Oh, happy worms. Okay, then I have a little bit of food for them. So I just have some like mushrooms here that are kind of dried out and gross that we don't want to eat. So I'm just going to dump those in. Then I have, oh, get in there little wormies. Okay, and then I have just some food scraps. I'm going to try and peel stickers off so those don't end up in the finished compost. Okay. I'm gonna break things into smaller pieces. I'm gonna add some newspaper. Okay. Get those worms out of here. So I have all the worms embedding in here. Now I'm just going to add moist bedding. So I just use newspaper. And rip it into strips. Dunk them in the water. Squeeze off most of it. Add them into the bin. And I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Alright, so last step, you can see in here that, really good in there, that I have like at least an inch of the wet moistened stuff. Then there's the food scraps, and then down below that's where the worms and the worm castings are. And so I'm just covering everybody up. And then I'll probably add like 2 to 3 inches of dry shredded newspaper on the top. And that is how you dump and reset a worm bin. Thanks for watching, guys.